What's up, y'all? NanMan here with some more Heroes of the Storm adventure as we are, just having fun playing other games. Of course, this channel will be main focuses RTS, but we're sprinkling in some MOBA adventures with HOTS. If you want to see some of our magic content, that's over at NanMan's Nerd Corner. But let's jump into it. We've got a Warhead Junction map. Now, if you're not familiar with it, you've got, of course, nukes here that will be able to spawn throughout the map, and you will be able to capture those up. It is also a boss-oriented map, so there is a boss up in the north side of this map, as well as camps sprawled, of course, across the map on each side here. But, of course, watchtowers exist for players to be able to capture and get that vision, and then you've got your tunnels to bounce in between the top and the bottom of the map. But we've got our little bit of battle, an annoying little bumblebee zipping around with Tracer over here. But let's get into talk a little bit about the teams as the first little bit of scrap is taking place here. So this is a little bit more normal and consistent with the teams, as we do see tanks across the board from both teams here, as well as a little bit. But will Blaze actually get out there and escape? It is really tight and close and tough battles, but oh no, Vala getting in there and getting pounced on, will be able to get cleaned up in the first blood battles there. So let's talk a little bit about the team. Blue team, of course, as, oh my gosh, Blaze goes in and gets sniped off as well. So, great little start for our blue team, consisting of Tyrael, our tank, Lieutenant Morales, our healer. It is a great single target healer. You'll see just that beam of healing energy going across there. But we've got, of course, Varian in the team as well. We'll see going whether if he wants to be going for like a more tank oriented route, or will be going for a more healing or more damage dealing route. We'll see. Then Tracer is that little annoying little bumblebee, will be zipping around and dealing quite a lot of damage. Sylvanas as well, be able to do quite a bit of damage, and you can see just how much damage that is off of there. On the other side, we've got our Sergeant Hammer, great little single push lane hero here. We see the battle between this Hammer and Sylvanas doing quite a bit of damage and showing just how much damage that it could be able to do. And looks like we are going to be doing that increased damage in siege mode. Vala going for the puncturing arrow. We've also got our Blaze in here, our Ana for our healer, and then our Hanzo for a bit of additional damage. So not very much of the melee side. Basically, the only front line that red team has is that singleton Blaze there, so that will add a little bit of complications and challenges here. But we see Hanzo coming in, trying to get a snipe off, and there's a bit of a bunt taking place there from the Morales, but we'll be able to escape, and they're going to hold the line. In the meantime, we see a little bit of the Bumblebee action over here. Vala versus the Bumblebee of Tracer, zipping in, zipping out. And that is the annoying thing. If you ever are fighting against that, make sure you just plant your feet and start fighting. And speaking of planting your feet, this Hammer has planted his feet here, went for the talent to be able to kind of put a wall up. And oh my gosh, Ana attempting to save the day there. Ana is a great hero because it does have some of the skill shot action there. It's Scotty, of course, adding some great little flavor commentary for everyone to be able to know what was happening to him. And Ana, actually, what we were talking about is that CC of the sleep bullets that, of course, Ana does have access to. But there, boom, nukes have arrived. So now it is the battle. Oh, Vala getting the snipe off and does take out Tracer there. So we'll be able to get a little bit of extra power going on there. But it is very much that kind of vision thing. So we do see, how much vision is available does make a big difference here. But we see the first nukes are going to be going down. And Ana doing her best to kind of hold the line here. But Vala getting cleaned up in the north. And there's the dive on the tank, but does get the, of course, concussive blast off and will be able to just barely escape there. Another nuke is coming down. Hanzo trying to get a couple of pot shots, but you see just how quick of that attack is. It is not very. So that does make it a little bit of a challenge here, but still pretty close, pretty even. 4 kills to 2, and there we go. Blue team dropping their next nuke on the south. Sylvanas doing a great job, just single pushing while the rest of the team is scrambling, trying to deal with this. Hanzo does manage to stay alive there, and there's Blaze trying to get the stun off, but ends up missing that slide in there, but will be able to kind of still put on a little bit of pressure. doing his best to kind of hold the front line, and being the only front line that does make it much more challenging there. So there's the next bunts coming out for Morales. Vala holding the line there against Sylvanas, and there's the big stun. It is 4v3 here, so this is a challenge, but this allows Hammer to try to kind of soak up top and get a lot more XP going on here. Of course, all of these little blue orbs will be able to get that extra XP, so that does help out, but those orbs are blue team's orbs, so that's why that we're not getting absorbed, but you get the idea. We've talked about this before, but it is a team-oriented game when it comes to a MOBA compared to Dota or League of Legends. If you are losing your lane, that doesn't mean that your team is losing, right? Here's the team's life totals, or sorry, yeah, levels 8 to 8, and trying for the Blaze slide, and Blast does end up missing it, but does get healed up, no problem there. So Sergeant Hammer still holding the line up at the top as the rest of the team sort of moving in a pack. This is going to be a much more of this sort of pack-oriented battle here as, oh my gosh, Blaze trapped in the center here as the whole team comes up, but there is the big fight. The rest of the team comes in to try to kind of group up, and Blaze goes over there and tries to deal with Morales, but that just leaves Anna by herself over here. And will she escape? She does, and there is the escape for Vala as well. Anna, get on out. Ooh, tough little skirmish there. In the meantime, the south, that camp that was going to hopefully do something, was cleaned up by Sylvanas. So she's kind of left to just kind of hard push. She does have that extra ability available to her here. So if we look and see, what is she? 5? She does have access to this black arrow ability that will shut down forts and towers, so that'll pop up in 5 more seconds, so could very easily be able to get that. But in the meantime, we have a fight over the camp, and is forced back, losing Tracer there. That mobility, that speed is very important. But oh my gosh, Vala is going to go down, it looks like here, as ults will be able to get secured. In the meantime, that fort does manage to be sniped off here. Hammer doing what he can. Or doing what she can, I will say. The character is a girl. Anna's there. There's the sleep darts. Varian going to start getting some pot shots. Ults coming around from both players here. And Morales shows up to save the day. Can you believe that? Oh my gosh. That's nuts. All right. Nice. Trying to block and stop Tracer there, but we do have quite a scrap taking place here. Hammer is in trouble, and oh, there's the pounce. Anna going to go down. No, great save from Hammer there, and the bunts almost killed Anna, but not going to be the case here. Blaze kind of repositioning himself up. Very tough scrap taking place all around here, but you see the whole squad is here. We've got one nuke for each team. You can see the tracker of nukes over there on the bottom side over by the mini-map. And now it is all about that vision. So we can see blue has a lot more control, a lot more vision about what's going on compared to our other team here. And now they're starting to grab those forts, start pushing out, push the waves a little bit, and we can keep track of how many forts there are, 5 to 6. This isn't as much of a fort oriented map as, say, like our Sky Temple or something like that. It still matters. It does make a difference, you know, where you're dropping your nukes and stuff like that. But this is a I need to just push core and win, where a different map is still more like, okay, I could be focused on the objective. If you just focus the objective, you might win. Like, you know, speaking of a focus and objective here, the objective is to kill that Hammer, it looks like, but not going to be the case there. Blaze will come in and try to put a stop to this. Will be popping the ult, slowing everybody down, dropping some burn and fire down across the board, and looks like we'll be able to escape. Yes, we do. Oh, no, not going anywhere. There's the snipes coming out from Anna, using that ult to be able to get that nice little bit of damage going on. And in the meantime, looks like Hanzo getting sniped off. The hit squad of Tracer and of our Sylvanas putting in work. But this is a suicide mission here. We go in, and there is the push, but not enough. Going for the ult there to try to clean up Tracer. That Tracer blink saved Tracer there. Sylvanas had no problem cleaning up and doing quite a bit of damage there with, of course, that dagger, spreading all of that poison around. But Hammer's still putting in work up here. Blaze still protecting. And it's kind of this, like, you know, have to we're starting to see the split between both teams, right? We're seeing the Varian, we're seeing the Tyrael here, we're seeing the the Lieutenant Morales, this like hit squad stay together up here at the top as they kind of are going to go. We're going to stay as like 3 or 4, start dropping some nukes, putting in some work here, and Tracer can be annoying and putting up a lot of pressure here. Look at this. The team is now stuck inside of their base over there. Oh, Blaze coming in, trying to make something happen, but this is basically a 1v4. Immediately Blaze goes down. Does do quite a bit of damage, but what's the trade-off there? Was it worth it? I don't know. I guess you could say it was a 3v4, right? Hammer was here, Anna was here, so it was not just a 1v4. But, that's the challenge when you are the only front line that your team has. You're stuck in those, like, okay, I want to go in, but not really able to. And, ooh, here's a little bit of a skirmish battle. And there, again, is Vala dead. So lots of damage have been dealt, but not enough to be able to kill anybody off. So where you have a little bit of a challenge, Hanzo able to kind of back up a bit, trying to fire off some of his arrows here. But Hammer really putting in work, trying to keep hold the line up there. But we'll see. Blaze going to be trying to go in. The nice delays by Anna. That was a huge little bit of victory there. And oh, there's the dive in, and the team is pounced, and all of them are dead. 5v2, easy cleanup there for the blue squad. And you can see, yeah, 14 kills to 5 right now. Things are looking tough for the good guys, if you were thinking that the red team is the good guys. But we get to grab all of the nukes. You can see red still holding on to one singleton nuke from Anna. Yeah, just can't do anything with Tracer or Sylvanas on me. That 2-person hit squad going in, putting in work. But yeah, there's Morales. Is going to be charging her way forward here, dropping the nuke down. Clear up all those towers, all those minions, no problem. Big XP boost. You can see blue team is up there 16 to 14 in level, so they do get a little bit of extra bonus here. So we get some stims going on. We'll see the Blaze coming in. Where is the rest of the team? Ult's going to get used, and he's getting on the back line here and actually doing work there. Hanzo arrow going to stun everybody. Vala coming in here. There's the ult. Is it going to be enough? We see Morales very, very low. Blaze diving in, and we do see, yes, Sylvanas going to go down as well. Tyrael very, very low. And look at this on the other side. We do see Varian coming in, trying to help out, and now he's kind of stuck left to just kind of take pot shots from the archers. In the meantime, Blaze still chasing down. But that was a great trade-off. The whole squad over there fighting ends up, oh, and leaving a nuke behind. That's nice. But Tracer up in the north. Tyrael escapes, will be able to heal up, and then we see Hammer still putting in work, cleaning up that fort. And look at this Tracer here. Blaze coming in, burning up, and he's just sort of going to be able to try to plant his feet and heal up in that fire there, and will be able to clean that up. Tyrael does show up. There's the stun, and all of this DPS from Sergeant Hammer putting in work, allowing that little section of fighting over by that watchtower to really be able to be in favor of the red team. So doing some good trades. It was looking very much in favor of the blue team until those last couple fights here. And now we're setting up again right at the front door here. And Sergeant Hammer going to start dropping in. We do see the oil slick slowing everybody down as the team starts to group up here. There's the ult going to come down here. Is it going to be enough? So, ooh, nuke's going to get dropped down here from Vala. We're going to continue to fight over this location. There's the nuke going down, dropping down, dealing so much damage. Oh my gosh, Morales is cleaned up there. Varian is over here fighting Hanzo, but he flips over, is able to escape, continue to do some pot shots, and there is the Blaze burn, cleans them up, and Hammer comes back in to keep putting the pressure on. So very, very nice push here for the red team. Great team fight cleanup. Things were tough in the beginning as the team tried to get oriented and used to this kind of hit and run aggressive style that was the Tracer, that was that Sylvanas, and now things are working out. So now we can kind of regroup and re-see. So let's take a look again at what the vision is looking like. Things are looking a little bit tough over here for our blue squad. You can see their kind of vision is slowly diminishing. They still have control of one of the watchtowers, but all of the nukes are starting to pop up. They got 15 seconds before they're all on the map. And we can see this is a big nuke drop here. We're going to have 4 different nukes happening, but the fight is going to take place. Tracer trying to get in. Hanzo continuing to do the pot shots in there. Tracer zipping around. Vala holding the line as well, but the line is held, and now nukes can start to get secured. Now it's the Blues team job to kind of reorient and set themselves up. They were stuck in red team was stuck in the base. Now blue team got stuck in the base for a little bit, but nukes are starting to get grabbed across the battlefield here, and it looks like red team will be able to get 2. Are they going to get a 3rd? Oh, there's the arrow. Tracer will blink out. There's the ult coming down, and it looks like we're going to be raining down quite a bit of damage, but we'll be able to kind of, oh, not good. Tracer Vala looks like going to be going down, dropping a nuke before she goes, and we'll be able to just do a little bit of splash damage, but basically just preventing that team from getting access to this. So Blaze is kind of stuck down at the bottom doing some pushing. There's the warning signs. The rest of the team, though, it is 2 stuck up in the north, but Blaze tries to rotate up to try to help the team out and does get stuck by the Bumblebee team. Oh, there's that hit squad. They're back at it. We thought that the red team was able to kind of reorient themselves and get used to this kind of hit squad, and they're actually putting in a lot of work there, but not enough, as the 5-man hit squad started out as Jess, Sylvanas, and Tracer. They were able to clean up. Look at these assholes. Right? Look at these. This 5-man hit squad. Let's see. How are we doing on kills here? Let's take a look at deaths, shall we? 0 deaths for Hammer. Now, that is impressive. You know, that very, very nice to be able to keep Hammer alive. Everybody else has died. Vala dead 6 times. Hanzo dead 6 times. Basically, the squishy DPS damage of Red Squad dying quite a bit to this little bit of hit squad there. But really, a lot of 2 and 3 deaths across the board we're going to see here. So not too crazy. Let's talk a little bit about our level 20s, because we did just get those across the board. So Vala went for our extra strafe. So that means those piercing arrows. Advanced Lava Strike, we're going to be just really raining down fire, but Boss is getting ready to bring its way on over here. Of course, Anti-Slow going to be added in here. Extra flash fire on that ult for Blaze, and then continuing up, powering up that Deadeye ult, and then as well as play the game here, dealing additional damage. On the other side of things, we've got our Holy Arena here, setting up that kind of protection zone for Tyrael. Morales is all about the stim and going for additional care. Being able to have that unkillable for 1 second is really nice. Banner coming down for that Glory of the Alliance is going to be really helpful there for our variant, as well as our Tracer Rewind going to be coming in. Looks like battle taking place in the center here. Let's see how things work out with these 2 teams. As diving coming in, Blaze's ult going to go down, and we saw the variant diving in, trying to get on the tank, but not actually able to here. So we do see great little bit of trade. Team is able to kind of do quite a bit of damage there. So great work. Vala set back, going to continue to kind of hold the line, holding back that wave, but stuck in base. Will this be enough here? So let's talk about fort count. It is 3 to 4, but blue team up at the top. We got to be careful. Ana is in trouble. Going to be moving slow. Red team cores under attack again. Hanzo coming in, trying to kind of hold the line. We're going to be getting the whole team grouped up here. And there's the dive in for Blaze, trying to kind of stop everything. But look at this. This is the problem. All of these siege units getting closer and closer to the core, and that will mean that this bottom lane is in danger, especially with camps coming their way across here. So even though Varian is dead and it is 4v5, we've got nukes, 2 nukes specifically for blue team, and they're going to be starting to crack open this base here. And there we see, boom, center location is taken out. All of these gone. There's the next nuke going to get dropped down on top of this base, and we will see all of these minions fall. Base not falling itself, but taking half health off of that. So very, very nice push in here for Blue Squad, as Varian has respawned and going to be running his way across the map here, trying to rejoin the team. And there they go, peeling off, taking over the camp, trying to keep red in their base. But look, Tyrael left by himself, and there's the sleep. There's the fight. Stun coming down here. Will it be enough to trap him in here? And it is. So great kill. This is what is all happening in this map. It's all about finding that single unit, the two heroes all by themselves, allowing the hit squads to fight it out here. And we do see Tracer trying to be annoying, trying to kind of keep people at bay while the wave pushes from the south. Sergeant Hammer going to put a stop to that, and the rest of the squad kind of rallies up into the center of the map here. We're going to try to hold the line, make this be our big fight, but it is 4v4 happening in the center. Oh, 4v3. We see Tracer still up in the north, going to be trying to flank from the south here. There's the dive in, and ult going to be coming down here for our... Oh my gosh, Blaze blasting in on the back line. We also see the back line going to be targeted down from Varian, and it is a bit of a cleanup across the board from both teams. So great little battles, great little fights here between both teams, and we do see continuing to push our way forward here. But Sylvanas, Tyrael right back out, but 5-2 here, and things are going to be tough. We do see map control going to go back, and it is forcing blue back in their base. So they were trying to hope to get a nice little way to end it, but being down a man, they probably should have backed up a little bit more here. But red now moving their way center. We've got a nuke available, so we can try to drop with half health. This fort is going to go down here, and especially with the ult there, we see, let's see, dropping in, pushing it our way forward here. And, oh, nice little silence there. But, yep, fort is down. Didn't even need to use the nuke. So there is still 3 forts available compared to the 2 for red squad here. But blue will be respawning up in about 12 seconds. They'll have a full squad. So it looks like we got a little bit of a peel off back up here, trying to set ourselves up. But no, reset. We will charge our way forward here. We get the ult gets popped there. Nuke's going to be defensively dropped down, of course, from the base. That is one thing that this map does, of course, have available. And look at this. Sergeant Hammer locking himself in place. Is he going to get out? Nice save there. Ult's coming down here. Blaze going to be diving in, stunning. Will he be able to escape? Here comes Vala coming in from the south. Ana popping her ult as well, and we get a huge scramble taking place here. Blaze retreating as well, and there's Ana joining in, and Vala's going for the ult, pushing in on the back line. Oh, sprays, does end up taking down one of those heroes. Second hero getting low, third hero getting low here, and the bullets don't stop raining from all sides. Blaze returns to the fight and will help clean everything up, and that is the push that you needed right there. 5 heroes left alive. Tracer is the only hero left. Team scrambles up. Great last little team fight here, and even though the team is sitting here 21-18 now. They were behind up to that point. Last little bit of fight comes in, and now Sergeant Hammer has planted himself inside the base of the enemy team. Nuke's going to get dropped down, and the heals coming in for Ana. And here we go. Defensive nukes coming. Doesn't really matter as the nukes start to get dropped down. Blaze running around behind enemy lines over here, stuck trying to grab some more action over at the forts, trying to increase his siege damage over there. Going to grab another nuke, get more and more victory points in that regard there. But that is it. GG's called. We see some Hanzo arrows flying towards the core at the last second. But nice little counter fight at that last big fight. That was the huge moment in that game, and really that big turning point to kind of allow us to just kind of push in. But you see Sergeant Hammer, 0 deaths, of course, makes the MVP for this one there. You could see best in game, both in siege damage and hero damage, it looked like there. So Blaze getting beat up 67% of the time. 88,000 damage in team fights got beat up there. So very, very nice to see. Vala, really the scrapper, definitely coming in at the end there. Of course, Warhead action coming up. The bomb. I love the names of some of these little victory points, you know, the extra stuff that you get. 44,000 damage just from warheads from Sylvanas. But this makes sense that Sylvanas and Tracer are the two teammates from Blue Squad that would make it on the board there at the end. But hope you guys enjoyed this little bit of Heroes of the Storm quick match action. We'll do a couple more of these in the future. I'm having fun being able to do it. We're also going to get back into the RTS action with some Stormgate as Zero Space, some StarCraft, all kinds of fun stuff coming up here. But again, if you want to see our Magic the Gathering content, check out NanMan's Nerd Corner over on the YouTubes. But if you want to see some more of our gaming stuff, that's over here on youtube.com/NanMan. But that's going to do it for us. Thanks so much for tuning in and watching, everyone, and I'll see you all next game.